It was a typical Tuesday afternoon, and John was at work in a large city when he noticed something strange. Internet was no longer working, and very soon, electricity failed as well. At first he thought it was just a temporary glitch, but it soon became clear that something much more serious was happening. A cyber attack was unleashed upon a city's critical infrastructure, including the power grid, transportation systems, and all the communication networks. First, there was a silence. Then, the large city was thrown into chaos. Traffic lights were no longer working. It caused massive traffic jams on the roads. Public transportation stopped, leaving people stranded. Groups of people started to form and crash into stores. Looting started. John knew that he needed to protect his wife and children, but he was more than 20 miles away from his home in a nearby town. His car was no longer of use to him, but he remembered that he packed a bugout bag just in case like this. So he got to his car, grabbed his bag, and set home on foot. The night was soon approaching, and it was a long and dangerous walk, but he was prepared and able to get back home safely.
Hi, my name is Mr.Donkov, and I hope you enjoyed this short bugout story I presented. I wanted to show a possible scenario of when a bugout bag might come handy. And here at my side I have a 30-liter bugout bag. It's the urban variant of the bugout bag, so it's a bit smaller and a bit lighter. And as you could see in the video, it is quite possible in today's day and age that this scenario will happen to some people, because there were such news already put out of possible shutdowns, of cyber attacks and stuff like this. So this could be a good time for me to show you how to prepare such a bugout bag for a bugout situation. And I want to say this is a lightweight solution. It's a 30-liter bugout bag. So this is the urban variant of the bugout bag. It's quite lightweight. It's exactly 9 kilos. That's about 20 pounds to be exact. And I think that having a lightweight bag is very important, because with a light bag you can move quicker, you can be stealthier, you can make greater distance, and of course you spend less energy moving around. So I will present the equipment and tools that I use, and they're geared more toward the urban situation, but this bag could also be used in the wild, in the forest, outside of the city. But before I continue, I just invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I cover various topics. I think you might find it interesting, so you're welcome to subscribe. And before showing you all the equipment, I also want to talk about one of the most important parts of your bugout bag, which is actually a quality bag or a rucksack. Because if the bag fails you, if it cracks, something like this, it's not usable anymore and you have a big problem. So definitely look that your bag is good enough quality. And in the urban situation is also better if the bag is not too obtrusive. So I like with this bag that it has a toned down colors. It's not too flashy, so it doesn't draw too much attention. I would also not recommend a military look bugout bag, because you immediately communicate there's something different about you. So it's good in this situation, in urban environment, if you can blend in and not stand out too much. So this is a 30-liter rucksack. In my case, this is a French mark Millet. It's darker colors and with some red accents, and in overall it doesn't stand out too much. Okay, let's begin. The first thing, it's the water bottle. In my case, this is a 1 liter bottle, and this is really not too much. I see in my experience that goes really quickly, so 1 liter is really minimum, and I would have some options to fill it up soon because it goes in one day or even sooner. So 1 liter of water here. Then I will be opening the bag and I will start at the top. And first thing, this is in no particular order. It's a hat with a shield. So this is good in case of rain. It doesn't go in my eyes. Also in case of some strong sun, it protects me from the sun. So the hat. Next thing, this is a cover of the rucksack. It's very bright colored. I would not be having it outside if I want to be low key. But in case I would be walking on some road and I want to be seen, not to be run over by some car, I might put this over my back so I'm much more visible. Then here I have 2 chocolate bars, just a quick snack on the hand. Here is a small and lightweight compass, button compass. It's also a whistle, it's also a thermometer, and there's also a lens which could be useful to burn if there's a good sun. You could also use it to start a fire. Next, I carry with me, it's a monocular. In my case, it's a Celestron up close G2. It has like a 10x zoom. And this thing is very useful if you want to check something in the distance, if you want to assess the situation. It's a very lightweight, it's small, monocular, so this is something I really like. But you can also enjoy the nature, watch some animal on the distance or some birds and stuff like that. It's very nice to have it. Next thing that's also very important is a headlamp. This is Black Diamond Cosmo 350, I think. It's just a regular lamp, but it has 3 levels of light. It can be very strong, but it also has a red light, which is good in case you are outside somewhere in the dark and you don't want to emit light. So definitely a headlamp, you need it. Then I have some wipes, cleaning wipes for hands or to wash my intimate parts when I'm outside. Then of course here are some paper napkins for the toilet or even to burn if you need it. Then I have with me a small flask with some spirited drink. This could be also nice to have. It could be a good morale booster, especially if you're with someone. You can take a sip, have a little drink and relax, and also you can disinfect possibly with this or burn it. Then I have just a couple of plastic bags always inside if I need it. And up here I also have a small Bible with me. I always have a small Bible which I can read and think and introspect and talk with God. So this is what I do. And one more thing I have, this is the insect repellent against fleas, against mosquitoes. Also very good to have when you're out, a small insect repellent to keep the bugs away from you. And this is all from the top compartment. Now, as you can see, I have on the rucksack also these little things. I don't know how to say it in English, but this is very useful. For example, when I have a solar panel on me, and if I'm walking outside and the sun is in my bag, I can easily put the solar panel, hang it here, or hang some other things on this. Now I will go to the front compartment here, and the first thing I'll pull out, this is actually a knife that I have. It's a basic knife, Solonyak Sika 90, so 9 centimeters long. Usually I would not be carrying this in a bag, but I would be having it around my belt. So to pull it out, it's a very durable knife. it doesn't hold sharpness so much. I need to sharpen it quite often, but it is sharp. I like it because it is lightweight. It's 3 millimeters thick, so it's very strong. I can also break some wood with it and do many other things. So definitely I would be having such a knife with me. Next thing is the opinel saw. Something I really also like. It's very lightweight. It's small. Actually, it's 12 centimeters long, but it's very sharp. This is good to cut some branches, to prepare some wood and things like this. And as you can see on my things, I also often add the rope like I have here. And this is because I can hang it somewhere and protect it not to lose it. Or even if it falls on the ground, this is brighter color, the rope, so I can find it and not lose it. Then I have a collapsed water bottle and the water filter inside this bag. So this water pouch can hold up to 2 liters of water. So in case I find a water source, I would fill this up. But with the water filter, I could also go to a river or something, a stream, or some source of water that is possibly not so clean, and use the water filter. It can filter up to, I think, 1,000 liters, so this could last me quite some time. And one more thing, which is maybe not so important, but I have it. It's a cotton bag, so it could be useful to have it to put some things in. For example, in the forest, when I'm like trying to gather wood, it's much easier to do it like this, with a bag like this. So now I continue on this side compartment here. I have something that I also like to carry with me always. And these are a pair of working gloves. These are strong leather gloves. Very good to have with you, because in the forest, for example, where I can break wood with this, I can even work with fire, or outside in an urban scenario, you could like grab dirty pieces of steel or some dangerous things and you would not hurt yourself. So definitely good to have a pair of strong working gloves to protect your hands so you're able to do things. And one more thing that I need to mention is that I also carry always with me pepper spray, and I keep it easily accessible. Especially I would recommend this in an urban environment. For example, if some person decides to attack you, or even some crazy dog or something like this, you just spray the person, spray the animal, and you totally disable it, but you will not really hurt it long term. So definitely I would recommend having a good pepper spray on you, because you can protect yourself very good with it. And now I will go forward and I will open the main compartment of this rucksack. And I want to say that I arranged things from the top down. So at the top I always put things that I need quick access to and that I use it first. And down at the bottom are the things that I don't really need so often. So now at the top I have this thing to sit on. That's great to have. And I also have a fleece blanket, which is very lightweight, but it's very warm. And when sitting outside, I can sit on it, or I can even cover myself in the case I go sleep. So this is definitely something you need. I have some basic cooking utensils. So here I have this rostfrei pot to cook in. It's lightweight, it's durable, and I always use it to cook. And with this urban variant, I only take this small pot with me, but it's good to cook something in it, and it's enough. And the other thing, I also have a cup. It's a small rostfrei cup, I use it for coffee, for cooking tea, boiling water and things like this. And also here I have a cotton cloth with which I can clean this. This always comes handy, and you can see in the video how I clean things in the nature. You just basically grab some grass and you rub it inside, then add some water, and at the end you clean it with this cloth. And basically you end up with clean pots which you can use again. So this is something to cook. You need it. At least I like to have it to warm up something, to just have a bit of comfort. It doesn't take much space. Next, I have the propane butane gas here, and I use it with my gas burner. I use this to cook. Also, it's small, it's lightweight. I don't need to make fire. I can use just this one, and this one could easily last me for a week, for one hot meal a day, or even more. I guess even more. Then another thing, I have a small tarp with me always, and in this case this is a magic carpet from DD Tarps. I think it's 2 meters, 2.2 meters and 1 meter 40. It's not very big, but this is something I always carry, either if I go bushcrafting, or I would have this for the urban scenario. So if I want to sit on the floor and have a clean space, I would put this below myself. But also if there is rain and you need to protect yourself from the rain and make a basic shelter, you could also make this shelter, and on the video you can see how I have some examples of the shelter. I mean, this could also be used as a wind protector. If you have a strong wind blowing from one side, you can also block it with this. So definitely this is something very good to have. And on this tarp I already attached some ropes that I can immediately use outside, and I also have this tent pegs, 5 tent pegs, so I can peg it to the ground and use it. Next, I have here something very good, something useful. This is a roll bag. It's a roll bag organizer. So here is my roll bag organizer. It's very neat, very good. It stores many things. And the first thing I want to show you is this is a knife sharpener. What you do, you just pull the knife 2 or 3 times through here and it sharpens the knife. Now let me open it. I'll quickly go through it. I have the first compartment, which is the fire making compartment. So here is already some prepared. It is compressed cardboard. And this is very good to start a fire. Basically, I take one of these, I cut it up a little bit, and it's very good as a fire starter. Next, just some matches, then a small big lighter. And I always choose lighters that are a bit more colorful. For example, okay, this one is red, because if it's black or some other color, you just don't see it. If it falls on the ground, in the leaves, in the woods, you won't find it. So I'd always choose a brighter color lighter. Next, I have also a small ferro rod. You can make fire even if everything gets wet. Then one more thing remaining here. It's this burner for the propane butane. It's awesome because it's very lightweight and it doesn't take much space. So definitely this is something I like to have and I use it. The only minus is that it's not so good. The flame is quite narrow and it can burn your food just on one place, but still it's so light and it's good enough for a bug out situation for sure. Next, I have 2 pens here. So the first one is the classical pen to write. But if this fails, I also carry a pencil with me, which doesn't fail so easily. And as you can see, I also put some steel wire on it and also some electrician's tape in case I need it. It's also here. Then I have a couple of these also. They're very good to fix something, attach something, and also very light. And here I have a small writing paper, writing block here to write stuff, to write some ideas, to some, yeah, you can do whatever. It's very good to have something to write. Then a small radio. It's small and it's very light. Just to listen to music or to listen to news. In case of emergency, you can listen to some news on this and be informed. Then just a little basic medicine, aspirin and something else. And here is another booth. It's a scarf, just extra. It doesn't take much space. And one more thing, here are 3 extra batteries, AAA size, which I can use with the radio, or I can use them with the headlamp if my main batteries fail. So extra batteries. And now the last compartment. First, extra rope, like 5 meters. Then I also have some fishing line. This is 50 meters of fishing line. This could be useful to set some traps, to set some alarms, or do whatever with it. It's not very strong. It holds, I think, 5 kilos, but it's enough. It's so light, and it's 50 meters of fishing line here. Then a quick glue to fix something or whatever. Then here I have some sewing equipment and some things to repair if my air mattress fails me. Next, some elastics in this bag. Always good to have some elastic. And now this is my little Opinel knife number 7. This I always carry with me. This is the Carbone version. I like this knife because it's so sharp, it's like razor sharp. And it's very, very light, so it's good. I can use it to carve something or to prepare food. And yeah, definitely this is the knife I always carry, and I carry it as a backup knife. If I lose my main knife or something happens, I also have this backup knife always with me. But since this is the urban bug out bag for the urban scenario, I also decided to take a Leatherman tool. This is an old school Leatherman. It's much heavier than the Opinel, but nevertheless it offers many usage scenarios, so for the urban environment definitely I would take this knife also with me. Now one more thing, I have some duct tape and I put it around this plastic thing. Here is like 1 meter of duct tape or something like that. And I saw many videos where people carry the whole duct tape, I mean the big one, with themselves. For me, I don't get it. I think it's too heavy, it's too bulky, too big. But here is enough to fix something, to use like 1 meter of duct tape, of good strong duct tape is definitely enough, I think. And it's so lightweight, it's like a card. And one last thing I have here are the earplugs. Definitely very handy if you sleep somewhere outside or there's noise and you need to rest, just use the earplugs. Next, again, to go forward, I also like to carry with me a lightweight plastic cutting board. I use it to prepare food. I use it to have a clean surface to work on. And it could also be used to fan the flames with it. So this is something that I really like. It's lightweight, it's strong, and very, very usable. Next, of course, here is the bag of food. It's stored in this bag so it stays dry. To show you what I carry with me, here's some cooking utensils, fork, the fork and spork. There's some tuna can and also some meat. Here's some oil. Again, a candy bar, Then some salt, sugar and spices, some pepper. Then I have these food rations. It's 5 blocks of this, 5 bars I think remaining here. And it's supposedly 1 bar lasts you for a day with all the things you need. So this you can eat dry, or you can even cook it in water and drink it. This should last me about 5 days, only this. Next, definitely something to have always with you. Some coffee here, instant coffee, and also tea bags of various kinds. Then a chocolate bar. And here I have a bag with rice. And I think rice is one of the best things to carry. Now it's a bit depleted as I've been using it. But rice, I like rice because it's very compact to store and you can cook a lot of rice. From this could be easily 2 or 3 meals. So have rice, have some tuna can and some spices and you have a very good lunch. So rice is definitely a bag of rice. You can cook a lot of food from this. And I also carry with me a sleeping bivy. It's a Mylar bag, but it's a bit different. This can be used many times. It's Soul Escape bivy. This is very lightweight, but actually quite warm when you're inside, so you can cover yourself with this and sleep in it. Definitely something I like to always carry with me. And beside this, I also have another bivy, emergency bivy. It's an Mylar bag, and this is an actual Mylar bag, but it's also a bit more durable. You can use it often. And with this too, I could easily sleep outside. Even if it was cold, I would not be cold because it's a Mylar. The only minus of this bag is that you start to sweat because it doesn't breathe, especially this one. This one is good. This one actually breathes. But the Mylar one, the smaller one, it doesn't breathe very much and you can get wet, which is not ideal, but at least you're not cold. I have the air mattress, also quite light. It's from Ferrino, so something soft to lie, to sleep, because it could happen. You have a bugout bag, but possibly you would have to be outside for longer, for a couple of days, and you definitely need to sleep then, so this would help me sleep. And then next I have this medical equipment. There are all the basic medicines inside. Then to go forward, here I carry also some clothes. This is something I would also recommend to have in a bag, especially if you're out for a day or two. So I have some warm underwear. This is Brinje. This is a special wear underwear. It's a shirt. It's very warm. Then I have 2 socks, and it's always great to have fresh socks on you. If your feet get tired or wet, when you put on fresh socks, you immediately feel better. Then I have 2 pairs of underwear and 1 t-shirt. So as you can see, I have some basic things to dress and to feel better. And now one last thing I have here, it's a poncho. In case of rain, I can easily cover myself and walk and stay dry. And one more thing that I carry also with me, especially I would be carrying this in the summer when it's more sunlight. Here is the small solar panel, Chotec 12 volt. It's not very strong, but if it's a good sun, it works quite fine. And here, of course, I carry a battery with me. This is a 5000 milliamp battery, which is enough for one good charge of the phone. But since it's now winter as I record this, or in the colder months, there's much less sun. So in this case, I would be probably taking a bigger battery with me. This is twice the size, it's 10,000 milliamps, which is good for 2 or even 3 charges of the phone, and it could last me a couple of days. So I would probably taking this bit larger, bit heavier, not too heavy, but a bit heavier battery with me in the winter. So this was the presentation of the Urban Bugout bag, 30 liter in my case. So 9 kilos, which is very little for all the things that you've seen. And I could say with this bag I could be out, and the food I have, I could be easily 2 or 3 days, and possibly even longer, week or even weeks if necessary. So if you liked the video, please click like. I also invite you to subscribe. I make many different things I think you would find interesting to follow. So welcome, and also comment. If you have any comments, please do comment. I read them all and I try to answer if there are some questions. Also, if you have some feedback, it is welcome. Thanks again, and I wish you a good day.